Hey, how you guys doing? Here we are in the transition periods. My name is Randy Pringle. I go by the Fishing Instructor. And the issue that I run into consistently getting emails and conversations and phone calls and guys at the ramp is real similar, that they're not catching fish. What's going on, man? Look at the water temperature's beautiful. It's sunny outside. We're wearing shorts. It's cold in the morning. Here's the issue. When I see that from spring to summer, there's a transition time where it's tough fishing. And then I see from summer to fall, there's a transition time. It happens every year. It's not a date, it's not a time, it's not a clock. It's not, oh, it happens in October, it happens in September, it happens in November. It's all about water temp. And what I want to do is I'm going to use my little board here and I'm going to explain to you. So I want you guys to zoom in on the board. Okay, so now what we're looking right now is the temperature of the water used to be 67 degrees, okay? And at the end of the day, this is summer temperature, 67 to 72, somewhere in that bracket, 72, and a lot of the areas where I was fishing. And then at the end of the day, it jumped up to like 75 degrees, all right? And sometimes even warmer, okay? This has changed. This is gone now. You can just kick that out. And that 67, it's still around. But the 67 right now is the starting temperature, 67 to 69 in the marina. Okay, just as simple as that, in the marina. So that means that if I go out on the main river, you're getting anywhere from 65 to 67, where there's a lot more current flow. And when you get this temperature, it's a falling temperature. When you get a falling temperature, these fish get lethargic. They don't want to move around a lot. So everybody that's throwing the topwater baits, the frogs, and you're out there throwing furbit, and you're throwing poppin' walker, you're throwing all these different companies' baits, the problem is the fish are going, oh, I don't feel good. The weather changed on me. I don't feel good. So what do you do in that transition? Don't worry, it'll come back. You'll get that topwater bite and that fall topwater bite we all want to have. You'll get it. But there's that transition. It's when that water temperature goes like this and goes plummet, and when it levels out, it's perfect. Right now, that temperature right now is in this area right here, and it's falling week to week to week. It's a falling temp. And when you get a falling temperature, slow down. If you slow down, you'll catch more fish. The baits we talk about, the shad move into the area because they're feeling that cool water. They're starting to get more aggressive. They're moving up on the shoreline. You'll see in the delta smelt up on the shoreline. You're seeing the bluegill roaming around the shoreline. You're getting all the food source in and around in the water now. You're seeing more food source. Now you see a lot of bait fish, a lot of that stuff. Start emulating that. Crankbaits. Don't just cast mount and reel them in. Stagger them. Take the tops of those weeds. Deflect off of the underwater structure. Don't make that bait just, make it bounce off, bounce off, bounce off. Boom, that's when she hits it. So you got the crankbaits. The next bait you got is rip baits. You know, that rip bait going through the water like this and hitting that rip bait go like this, that deflection of that bait stopping and going and stopping and going, reaction. Worms, tight to the structure. Not hopping them like you did a month ago. Keep it in the structure. Just little movements, not hopping. If you like doing that, well, I like moving it. Well, they don't want to eat it that way. You're fishing the fish. Don't fish the way you want to fish. Fish the fish. And they want to eat it a certain way, you feed them it a certain way. So, transition time, slow down, and then after the water stabilizes out, after you get that peak that came up, like the hot temperature in the summer, and then it's starting to drop for fall, and then the water temperature will stay level for 2 or 3 weeks, you will whack them because the temperature will be perfect where you want it to be. Just like winter to spring, from spring to summer to fall. All have that transition period. All I ask you to do is during that transition period, slow down and you'll have a lot more fish.